Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Chuck TV. Let's talk a little bit about the taxation of remote commerce in the state of Louisiana. So, anybody paying attention to state politics knows that Louisiana is in extreme state budget distress. And they have been for the last couple of years. And over the last couple of years, their history has been to make some fairly dramatic changes to their sales tax to balance their budgets. So it's really no surprise to me that they moved very, very quickly to create rules that apply tax on remote commerce. And the way they did it was through a special session of their legislature, which literally concluded around the time that the Wayfair decision was decided. And what they did was they passed a rule that's effective July 1st that creates a simplified calculation and remittance requirement. So, we often talk about states as being more complex or less complex, with South Dakota being on the less complex side of the spectrum. Louisiana is squarely on the more complex side of the spectrum, given the number of local rates and the requirements to make local filing. But what they did was they followed an Alabama model, the Alabama Simplified Seller's Use Model precisely, and created a rule where you remit and collect a expanded state level tax, and then the state will share some of that revenue with the government. And that's all, again, effective July 1. So if you have significant transactional activity in the state of Louisiana, think again of those 200 transactions or $100,000 of sales, it's important to consider whether you qualify under this new methodology and whether you have an obligation to immediately start to collect under this new methodology. Now, the Louisiana has also created this commission to study the issue. So while they have this law that's effective July 1, much of the regulatory guidance, which would sort of flesh out what's really needed to comply, it hasn't been provided yet. So really there's a bit of complexity there. And that question is, do you register under this new methodology prior to the guidance, or do you wait till official guidance is promulgated? I think the idea is that Louisiana is looking to make this requirement truly effective immediately. So I think businesses need to give some fairly strong consideration to collecting and remitting and filing under this simplified scheme.